Hey, this is Louis D. Fresh, bringing it to you on a Thursday afternoon. Hope you're doing well. I spent a little time on this preparation here, making sure that everything looked as good as it can look. What we're going to be talking about, as promised, we'll be talking about summer programs. We're going to talk about it this time in the college segment, and the next time I'm not. I'm going to be talking about loans because I know my seniors in my school are getting itchy about loans and what to do about that. So we'll talk about loans. We'll talk some. And then we'll also talk about the following time. I'm going to think about maybe last minute summer programs. The reason is because summer programs, you really should be applying to these if you want to write it down. February, March, and April. Anytime after that is really late because you really should be planning out your summer now. And I'm talking about 6th, 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th, and 11th grade. Try to make use of your summer. And again, even for middle schoolers, there are these college programs are for you guys as well. So it's always good to get a head start. So I'm gonna act like I live in Miami or South Florida, and I'm gonna act like I'm 15, 16 years old, and I'm gonna act like I live here, and I'm gonna give you my rationale of why I picked what I picked. All right, I kind of printed out this map, right? And I kind of live right around here, right? I'm gonna put a little mark right here. So I live right around here, right? And so I know that this being the United States of America, right? That I know I would have relatives that live around here, New York, and that would be true. Like if that were the case, because when I grew up in New York City and I did have relatives down here. So the opposite would be true. I would know, I'm looking here at my map. Where are we? Right around here is Chicago. I'm looking at it. I would know about Chicago because of the Chicago Cubs. And I remember I still am a baseball fan of Chicago. So I would know about Chicago. I would know about, I'm looking here at my map, right around here is around Dallas, right around here. I would know them because of the Cowboys, football. I'm being honest, right, as a teenager. And I would know about LA right around there, Los Angeles, because of movies and because of, just Los Angeles is Los Angeles. So I'm thinking, as a realistic teenager, I would probably shoot towards New York. The reason is because I would have relatives there. I would have relatives here, also in Los Angeles. But and Chicago and Dallas, I don't think my folks would be too keen on that. But I got to be real, and I know New York would probably be my best bet here in the United States. Now, other people may be able to, again, if your parents are more open to somewhere in the United States or elsewhere, even down here, Mexico or in North America, which is Mexico's part of North America, or in Canada, feel free to kind of explore the great beyond, because I'm thinking Hispanic parents, I'm thinking about my parents. They wouldn't have wanted me to go somewhere where I wouldn't have relatives. So, getting back to the video here, that's why I would probably pick New York City. And I'm being realistic because, I'm thinking about my parents who are now in heaven, but I know that they wouldn't want me to go somewhere where I wouldn't have relatives. So New York City would probably be my best bet. And so that's what this video is about. College summer program in New York City, lovingly known as the city. That's what my little thumbnail says there, summer program in the city. And it actually does take place here at Fordham University in Lincoln Center, which is really in Midtown Manhattan. Now, I actually did go to Fordham University and I'd get my master's degree in that particular campus. But what I liked about this is not geared toward that school. And you'll see in a minute. But that's where it takes place, right here in Midtown Manhattan, right in the heart of New York City. And I would also have relatives, like I said, nearby, just a subway ride away. And I think that would be realistic on letting my parents letting me do that. Now, before I show you the program, questions you should be asking yourself, and I know I've said this before, but it's always good to to reiterate the point when looking at summer programs, because I did a video back on my archives on what to look for in a summer program. These are questions you should ask yourself as a teenager. What are you looking for? What's the experience you're looking for? What are you looking for? Where do you want to go? Like I said, I just showed you a map of the United States, and again I showed you the map of the United States primarily for all my people that don't live in the United States, like in India and South Korea and Pakistan. And I really want you to get a better idea of what I'm talking about. How much time are you willing to spend here in the States? Summer is usually about, I guess, close to 8 weeks long. Usually it's about 8 weeks, so you have a nice chunk of time. So how much time are you willing to spend? Because you may be willing to spend only a few days, a couple of weeks. You maybe want to spend the whole summer. And also you should really inquire about your parents and let them know, or your family, your brothers, your sisters, your abuelos, abuelas, your grandparents. What's the plan for the summer? Because you gotta be, I know what I'm gonna do, and then your plan gets thwarted because you didn't check in with the family. So, as I was talking about, as a Louis D. Fresh 15, 16-year-old living in South Florida, first thing, I would first choose New York City, as I showed you on my little map. Because, again, I have relatives living there, and I know my Hispanic parents would not want me to just go anywhere where there aren't relatives, especially at that age. I would want to, and what I would want, as I do my Google search, I would want to explore what I want to do for the rest of my life. Because, at 15, 16, you kind of have ideas, and that's why the little kid there, 15, 16-year-old, which way do you want to go? Again, talking about New York City, I knew that it would be a good place for me. What do I want to do? And so I would want a summer program that helps me explore that. And I would want to spend 1 to 3 weeks in a summer program. I'm not going to lie, I wasn't very outgoing. I would never have done something like this, at 15, 16. So I think 1 to 3 weeks is more than enough. And I think that would be plenty also, away from my folks. And I know that mom and dad would want to do a 1 to 2 week trip somewhere. So that's why that would be something also I would keep in mind. And what I found was this called Summer Springboard. I'm going to show it to you right now. I would choose the first session. So let me show you what I found. What I did is I put a little star on it, so this way I could find it easily, and you should do the same as you're exploring. But I found this summer program for teens in New York City on the campus of a top university. I was like, aha! So I really did. I did just quite a bit of research, and I looked, and I was like, this looks good, okay. Because I said, I saw this keyword there, 2 weeks. I was like, aha! That's a good chunk of time. Not too much, not too little. Fordham University. I would have heard of it, as a 15, 16-year-old, but I wouldn't have known much. But I saw New York City, 2 week summer program. And then I noticed, again, attend in Manhattan, because I was like, and being, if I was a kid here, I would have picked the first one because school ends probably around the first week in June here in South Florida. And I would want to go while the iron is hot. And I would go right afterwards, right there, June 18th to June 30th, nice and quick. This way I could have the rest of the summer to myself. And as I stated, yes, I would choose the first session, be right out of, probably just about a week outside of finishing school. And I love that it's in Manhattan. And I can request a catalog, which I'm going to get to in a second. I know moms and dads, and I know I'm old-fashioned, but I'm thinking, they want to touch things. They want to be able to see things, make things tangible, so mom and dad can see my ideas. That I'm not just saying, hey, I want to do this. They see that I'm actually doing this stuff. Yes, and I could study possible majors. Let's see what we're talking about. So as I move the screen up, as I told you that I would pick the first session. Again, I'd be excited. I see kids. I see the skyline of New York City, and I can request a free, that's an awesome word, free catalog. And you could say that you are a student and you want text messages because you're a student, you're always getting text messages, and that is phenomenal. Get a free catalog, and as I scroll a little further, you can do academic tracks, and I kind of like that it's not Fordham University geared, it's towards the actual, what am I going to study? So I look at this and I say, architecture, cryptocurrency, nah. business, emergency medicine, computer science, finance, journalism, psychology, instructional design. I would pick one of these two, journalism or psychology, because I do like to write and I do like psychology. I like how people think, and it's not geared toward a particular college. It's geared toward the particular field of study, which is perfect, and it's something that I would enjoy. Then I would read a little further, and I see that their hook is to have hands-on learning. So kind of roll up your sleeves and see what's going on. And I did like this thing, which I'll show you in a second, college prep. Kind of say, well, what do I have to do to get into college? Because again, a 15, 16, 17-year-old, 14-year-old, you want to start learning more about what do I need to do to get into college. I'm gonna be risky here, because my hand shakes here. I wanted to show you here. This was the stuff in terms of the things, the course offerings, the tracks to follow. And so I'm gonna be a little risky here. The springboard, right? And if you keep going, this is what I was talking about. They talk about hands-on learning. I kind of like that. I see this picture. You see there that it's taught by the industry professionals. So I'm not going to be just taught by anybody. I'm going to be taught by people who are actually doing this stuff. Also be career exploration, which I really, well, no, that's not what I wanted to talk about. College prep. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. College prep. You see that the admission, understand the admissions process. I know that would really be exciting for a 15, 16-year-old trying to learn about how am I going to get into college. And continuing with my Canvas slide here, the other two things that they mentioned are career exploration. What am I going to do? That's what I was really geared toward it, because I know in the past, look at my archives, I spoke about specific colleges, college-specific, like I talked about STEAM, science, technology, engineering, math, and art. But this is specific to career exploration, which I know as a 15, 16-year-old, that would be phenomenal for me, trying to find out what avenue I would like to explore. And then I really, really like here, weekend excursions. As a 15, 16-year-old, I may have seen a little bit of the city because, again, I had relatives there, but I would love to see more of it. And the fact that they're going to take me out on the weekends is really exciting. And my parents would feel happy because I would have an adult there and they would be showing me around. As I was saying earlier, career explorations. You would have guest speakers, people who are experts in the field talking to you about that particular career. Not about the school, but about the career. And that's a real turn on for me. I think as a kid. And then you have your weekend excursions again, wanting to learn, wanting to know more about what's going on in the city and being led around to learn more about the city. And as I scroll a little further, I kind of like that as a testimonial. I can't lie, even as an adult, I love testimonials. Tell me what was going on there. Again, it tells you again to request a catalog, which I love. I request a catalog, but I hear testimonial. And I love that it's an alum people, that somebody is there. I learned so much, la la la. And again, my parents would love a testimonial. So I think that's a great way for me to sell this to my parents. And it is also a good start to finding something to expand my horizons. And it does not talk about money, which is fabulous since I can discuss the program itself. Because that's really, and I told you, even when we're talking about looking for colleges, I know money, everybody gets all caught up with money. Don't worry about money right now. Right now, you're looking at what might be attractive to you, what may really sell that to you, because at the end of the day, you can discuss your admissions with a coordinator and ask for financial aid. And I'm going to show you real quick what I mean by, again, you can ask for the financial aid. And again, as I'm trying to be risky here with my finger here, you can see you can get started, enroll. But as I click right here, you see there, you can see, hi there, you're a summer program, and you could chat with somebody right here. Her name is Lainey Pistone, and then you could write your question. You could chat. Hold on, let's try it. Holy frijoles. No, see, that's why. See, I got a little too risky there. But I'm saying that you can actually write a question there, and that's how you're going to ask and start talking about your summer program and ask for that financial aid that you are in need of. I'm smiling because everything worked out well, thank God. All you young people can laugh at me, which is fine, because it's difficult for me. You get the Canva thing and get the website and working, with my map, and